welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of Forza FGR. My name's also now supposed to be Picky Bat, and on today's episode, we are taking on Swindon Town in the Sky Bet League 2. They are in 4th place. We are top of the table because things have been going fairly well for us recently, and we are determined to put one over against this team, not least because they are rivals of my favourite team, Bristol City, especially back when we were in League 1 a few seasons ago, but also because we have lost 2 of our last 3 league games. And we need to get back to some more consistent form, because I like consistency. Consistency is key. And I just don't want to fall to 2 losses in a row, really. Just worth a note, actually, before we go into some more detail about some interesting January transfer business. Ilias Cher is literally holding us together right now. I mean, 18 goals, top goal scorer, 7.5 average rating, so highest average rating. Most assists with 11, most player match awards with 6. I mean, this man is doing rather well for us. And we might have to try and sign him at the end of his contract. I'm not sure when we can actually make that, but we might have to. We might have to indeed, because he's doing very well. But anyway, into the next interesting thing, which is we've made quite a few deals in the transfer market. As you can see, we've used up all our transfer budget, and we're now under on wage budget. I'm not too worried about that, because I'd like to think that going to the next season, we'll get some more money because of our success. Hopefully, we'll go up. But also because we've got players that are probably going to be leaving, like Keanu Marsh Brown. He's on £2,000 a week for being a 2.5-star player. So, like I said, when I came in towards the end of last season, I think it was, or maybe this summer, we had so many players on high wages that just weren't worth it. But anyway, we have brought in a number of very exciting players. Only 3 permanently. I say only 3. We brought in 2 on loan because, of course, we thank Harry McCurdy for his service. He's gone back to Aston Villa because we don't play with attacking midfielders anymore. He did very well for us, even especially when he was playing as a striker, which is not his favourite thing. He still did very well for us. But it is best for both of us if he goes back to Aston Villa. We do thank him. So, as a replacement, we have signed 2 strikers. I say as a replacement. 2 strikers just because I feel like with people like Musquera on loan, I'm preparing, you'll see with these transfers, in a way for next season, because obviously these loans are going to go back. There's no guarantee we'll get them for another season. We're going to try to, but there's no guarantee. So we have brought in a few players like that. Dan Newton is coming from Stevenage, therefore, for £26,500. 17-year-old striker who can play as a false 9 and also as a defensive forward, which is what we often utilise if we can't have a false 9. And so, he's nothing special, but he's worth bringing in, I think, considering that he'll be our 3rd choice striker if Musquera goes back. And you can see there as well, Sean Mikulski's the other one, on loan. Okay, I have to admit, I may have brought him in on loan because he plays for Bristol City, and I just felt like having him here. But he is good. He did very well at Newport County last season. He's doing very well at Newport County in real life right now. Making 42 appearances, 37 in the league, 37 starts, 5 subs. It's the other way around at the moment, which is a shame because he's done very well. You might have seen his goal in the FA Cup 3rd round. And so he's got 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. People like him have come in mainly because we're going to push for promotion. We've had to loan out a few of our players because they were getting a bit, about not playing first team football. So that's one of the reasons we brought in these loanees. Also, you'll see that they are quite good. I say all these loans, we've only brought in 2 loanees. The other one we'll have a look at now, Aaron Morley. He can play as in that midfield as a deep line playmaker or an advanced playmaker. He's got 4-star current ability and 4-star and black star potential ability, 4 or 5-star we'll call it. He comes in because he's very well suited to the league above, so there's no doubt that he would hopefully, in an ideal circumstance, do very well for us. He's here to push for that role, and worst comes to worst, he'll be good cover for when we get a bit tired, when we might have an injury. That's what we're preparing for, and then I click this to go back to what we're looking for. 2 other signings that have come in. We brought in a new centre back because people like Iacobiti and Meth, both of them are on loan, so once again, think towards next season. But also, just Meth hasn't been playing too well. His average rating isn't that good. He hasn't been tearing up the league like a player with 4-star current ability should do. So we brought in Niall Canavan from Rochdale for £22,000. Rochdale being in the league above, of course. He hasn't done badly considering, he's playing in League 1. He is 27 years old, leading player from the Sky Bet League 2 sides. Solid looking centre back. He's on par with Iacobiti and Meth himself. Bargain, in my opinion, for that money. He's come in to push for a place alongside the likes of Lancashire. It's just nice to have someone that you're going to have next season. And he's definitely no scrub. And finally, we brought in a goalkeeper. Once again, just like with Iacobiti And just like with Dan Newton, this is in a way preparing for next season as well as bringing in cover for this promotion push. Joe Lumley comes in. Once again, I think this is another bargain. £31,000 from QPR. And he is going to be, as you can see, he's on par with Daniel Harrison in terms of current ability. He's got 4-star potential. He's got the potential to be a good Sky Bet League 1 goalkeeper in the future. He's already leading player for Sky Bet League 2 sides. And so he's going to be there on the bench initially, but he's definitely, I'd almost say he's going to be our first choice keeper next season. And there's no reason why he won't make a few starts here and there to get him ready for that. 23 years old. I like the look of him. And thus concludes the transfer special of this episode. Let's get into this match against Swindon, where, like I say, we really do want to win. I don't want to say need to win. We want to win because we want to get back to those winning ways. And we don't want to lose top spot. We are 3 points clear at the top of the table at the moment, which is very nice to see. Grimsby up into second there, so they obviously were, no shame in losing to Grimsby. I'm going to keep mentioning that. And speaking of losing, we'll look at the schedule because we have lost a few games. We went on to win 6-2 in that game after the Gillingham game, so that put me in a better mood, as did the 4-1 win against Notts County. We didn't lose 3-1 against Crewe. These things happen. We then won against Cambridge 3-1, lost again 3-1 to Lincoln. These things happen. And then lost to Sheffield Wednesday, narrowly I must say, because of a penalty in the third round. So there's no shame in that. We just want to make sure we get back to winning ways. I mean, I'd probably take a draw. Swindon is a very difficult team. I mean, it's the question, do we now go counter to start off with? Let's just double check what my scouts say. What do my scouts say? Swindon scouting report. They play attacking. Let's go counter. I like the sound of that. We're playing them away. They're a decent team. And this is the team that will be playing counter against Swindon. We have got Daniel Iverson in goal. Back four of Aaron Phillips. Niall Canavan making his debut alongside Ian Coviti as his defensive partner. And Scott Laird on the left-hand side of the defence. Josh Laurent and Aaron Morley, who has already played a few games for us in the midfield, with Ilias Cherin and Dupuy, the two inside forwards, and Musko and Moraz up front. Our traditional strike partnership. It's worth noting that both Mikulski and Newton have already played. Newton scored in that 3-1 loss against Lincoln on his debut, and Sean Mikulski scored on his debut in the FA Cup. So they're on the bench at the moment, but they are not going to be any weakness when it comes to having to rotate our squad in midweek, or if injuries come about, or whatever, or as super subs. Fingers crossed. I mean, in my opinion, on paper, this is looking quite good for us. We brought spent at all. I think we've, like I said, got preparing for next season, which hopefully, fingers crossed, will be in League One. So we brought him, capable of playing in such a league. And so it would be disappointing if we go on a bad run of form here. It's gone off. My bad. They put out on silent. It would be disappointing to go on a bad run of form here and drop out. We are 5 plus automatic promotion places, and we are 47. We are 8 points inside the playoffs, which is not as comfortable as we have been in the past. But like I said, we've lost a few games, but I think we've come to accept that in this league, if that does happen, it is very difficult, unlike in other leagues with other teams, to go on a long, unbeaten run. But we do have to. I mean, Niall Canavan has shown commitment to the show already by getting booked 11 minutes into his debut. Don't get sent off. Please don't get sent off. But yeah, essentially we just want to get this win so that we can push on, as you know. And that way I went on to panic a bit. Yeah, we're going to tell Canavan to use his tackles because the last thing we want is him to get sent off on his debut and cause issues for us. We are letting Swindon dominate possession as we expected, but we already had one more shot on target than they have to their 0. So I like to think this counter-attacking tactic will work. At the end of the day, I know we only won one of our last 3 games, and if we draw, it'll be one of the last 4. But that's just one of those things that pundits say, isn't it? I think if we get a draw here, I'm not going to be too disappointed. We're playing away from home. We're playing against a decent team. I haven't looked at the form, but my gut's telling me it's been probably a good informed team. Oh dear, they've got a corner here. Mason whips it in, headed away by Phillips. Is this going to be a counter-attack? My graphics have gone again. I must apologise. The last few videos were okay. You'll have to deal with it now. And Moraes has made oh my god. He just made one of the most incredible runs I've seen all season with this team. And who does that? What a waste if he keeps playing like that. Then, Moraes hasn't scored in a while again for us. He obviously scores in burst. And oh god, what was that header? And Ducru's let their player just get the ball in a dangerous position. Roberts into more for Swindon on the edge of the area, although he's being hurdled away, shepherded away even. Oh my god, this is incredible shepherding from Phillips. That is why we love him. Moraes is picked up here. Back to Phillips, who's playing in a very attacking wing-back role at the moment. Into Mousquet. What can Mousquet do with it? Through to Nduku, but it's headed away by a Swindon player. Morley has picked it up. Loney, who's going to be eager to impress to secure his place in the starting 11 for the rest of the season. Nduku goes for a pass, but it's deflected by one of their defenders, Mason. Mason into Hill. We're putting pressure in the box. Tackling from Moraes. Mousquet and Admiral Mousquet. He obviously knows that we've got players lined up on loan and also in the form of Dan Newton, our new signing, that could possibly come in and replace him if things didn't go too well going to the last days of the season. And Moraes knows that too, because they've obviously heard me, they've taken note. Moraes puts on the pressure, he gets the tackle in, passes it, or squares it more accurately, to Mousquet, who taps it in. Admiral Mousquet. He wasn't lighting up the league at the start of the season, but boy oh boy, do I love him again. And we are now 5 points clear at the top of the table. Counter-attacking so far, touch wood, has been the right decision, although it's just going to be a traditional Forest Green Rovers immediate instance of conceding to throw away a lead. Morley in midfield, come on boy, do well. Laurent down to Nduku, but Nduku does well there because he's getting under pressure by the defender. Laurent's now got it in midfield, once again being herded by one of the defenders, plays it forward, loses it as it's headed away by Bird, one of the Swindon defenders, and now Khan's got it to O'Sullivan. The tackle has got in by Morley, and Morley's played Nduku, who's in an attacking position here, running down the right hand side. Nduku into the box, cross to Mousquet, and Admiral Mousquet has scored a brace. And as the commentator at the bottom there said, all credit should go to Nduku for an assist. This is a fantastic display, and I am glad that we've gone counter against this team because it is working. Once again, touch wood, I'm going to have to keep doing that so far. A great tackle by the new Loney in midfield to get Nduku through, and Nduku once again square it, or more of a cross this time. Cross, Mousquet, tap in. That's how he does it. That's what we like to see. Fantastic stuff to go to. Like, it wasn't a traditional FGR immediate act of conceding to throw away a 1-goal lead. Admiral Mousquet's on an 8.6, and boy oh boy does he deserve it. And it looks like we're going to go in at half-time, 2-0 up, 5 points clear as it stands at the top of the table. And this is what we'd like to see. Despite their holding possession more than we are, we have limited Swindon to no shots on target. And that is what we like to see. It's all, as it stands, all is going swimmingly, and we are getting back to winning ways. And fingers crossed we can keep it going just nice and calmly. Just keep going counter. Just relax. Don't relax too much, but relax. Just take a breather. Just think, we're 2-0 up. They've got to get 2 goals to equalise. Just, we should be. I hope I sung a lullaby at half time. Free kick in by Connett for Swindon, and Roberts has got it now. Once again, he's being held by our defenders, doing very well. And now Moraes is on the break here. He's got little support, but what can he do with that pace? He can do a lot with that pace, that's for sure. And then Nduku's there finally. The cross comes in. And I mean, that was almost a shot there. The Swindon goalkeeper does get to it. I mean, he'd be pretty embarrassed if he didn't, because he had plenty of time going to hang time on that ball in the air. Now Roberts has got it for Swindon. What's Swindon looking to do on a quick counter-attack from their goalkeeper? Luckily, it's picked up by Canavan in defence, who luckily hasn't been sent off yet. Iacovity's received it from the goalkeeper, Iverson. Iverson's got it back from Iacovity. Bit of a pass around at the back here. I'd rather you get it more forward. Iacovity to Morley, to Laurent. And he's tackled here, and Carlett's running forward. And surely this is a great opportunity for them to equalise, and that is a penalty. And I thought Canavan had taken him down then, and I was not going to sound back, so that'd probably be a red card. It is a penalty to Swindon, which is not what we really want, especially in the 54th minute. Roberts steps up, and it is a goal. Iverson went the right way, he couldn't do much more there. And we've just got to hope that for the next, 34 minutes, we don't concede another. Unless, of course, we get another goal, and then, we feel free to concede another, but I'd rather you didn't, because my heart rate can't take that. We are still 5 points clear at the moment, that is important. It appears, if my maths is correct, that Barnet, therefore, are losing. And let's have a look at the old latest scores. We seem to be doing that a lot with Barnet. We did it in the last episode, we'll do it today as well. Barnet, yeah, they're winning. Oh, it must be Grimsby that are losing then. That makes more sense. I mean, I couldn't see the Grimsby match there. Right, Phillips with the corner in. Canavan and it's off the bar, but Ndukwu's still there, and Ndukwu tucks it, we're in it, it's 3-1, yes, 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 yes. There we go, they've got the goal that I asked for to restore the 2-goal safety cushion, and that is a scrappy League 2 goal, but it doesn't matter, because it's all we need. Canavan hits the bar with that, very impressive. It's scrambled away by the defender, but Ndukwu picks it up and finds a gap in the massive body of defenders, both Forest Green and Swindon in that penalty area, and tucks it away, which is always nice to see. Oh, is this going to be an FGR immediate act of conceding, as we've gotten so used to? I mean, hopefully if I say it enough, it won't be. Mason for Swindon, into Bird to O'Sullivan. Swindon has taken their time here. Amoros into Carnat. How has he been let through there, and how has he not scored? Because that I mean, not only was the shot, you know, pretty easy in my opinion, but the rebound was even easier, and he didn't get either of them in. I'm not complaining, because we're now 4 points, and we're only 4 points clear. We was 4 points clear. I can't do maths. I gave up maths after GCSE, and it's getting embarrassing how bad my arithmetic is. The point is, we're more points clear at the top of the table than we were. Yes, it's only 1, but I mean, it all helps. Does it not? Right, it's probably time to make some substitutions, because not only are they getting tired, but as my assistant manager is warning me, there's every chance Lauren might get himself sent off. So we're going to bring on Reece Brown, and I mean, Chair hasn't had the best of games, so we'll bring on... actually, no, we'll keep him on. He's had a 6.8, he's been fine. Marius, he's got the assist, but I'm half tempted to bring on one of these players. Mikulski is not... he's lacking match fit. We'll help him get match fit. I like Sean Mikulski anyway. Sean Mikulski will come on. Chair might come off later on, but I don't like making triple substitutions straight away. Double though, perfectly fine. Fine with that, completely. Let's see if Sean Mikulski, the Bristol City loanee, can make a bit of a difference. It's a bit concerning that we've got 2 players on a yellow card. We're just asking to get a player sent off, really, aren't we? Phillips to Ndukwu to Morley. Plays it forward to Mikulski. Just come on. And Mikulski, I mean, I just sang his praises. He should have done better than that. Laird's headed it down, but it falls to a Swindon player. Hateley's got it to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan up to Roberts on the Swindon left-hand side, forward to Mullen. Can our defender get there? He can't. Now Mullen's through. Surely this is a goal. No. Somehow he sails wide of the mark. I mean, yes, Leeds is second in the world, but I could see a path for that to go in. Luckily, he failed to capitalise. I mean, look at the average ratings of their defence. 6.0, 6.2, 6.3, 6.1. That kind of sums up why we're winning 3-1 here. But I'm glad we went counter. Anyway, a Swindon throw in here. Worthington forward to Hateley. Hateley into O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan out to Preston. Preston into Mullen, and surely he's going to score here. No, he hits the post. I mean, we have been riding our luck in a way in some of these chances in the second half, that's for sure. There is no doubt about that. Right, Ilias Cherry is going to come off now. You know, Newton can play on the left-hand side. Do we bring him on? Just because, you know, for the sake of new signings. Why not? Why not? We'll have both Mikulski and Newton on. Sorry, Phyllis Kirk. I still love you, but, you know, me. I have other players too, and I have to think of them. Oh, I just look at that. 4 points clear at the top of the table. Lovely stuff. And once again, Joe Mag's mentality change against the team has paid off. I hope some of you are counting that, because it's starting to become more common than it used to be, that's for sure. Whew. Anyway, throw in Swindon. Brown has picked it up after intercepting one of their passes. Then pass to Iacovitti, is passed to Laird. Laird back to Iacovitti, to Morley. Come on, let's play it out a bit, that's better. Newton, she's been subbed on, playing forward to Mikulski. Mikulski's running forward with it, trying to avoid the defenders, so he passes it to Ndukwu, back to Morley, back to forward to Brown even. And Newton, quick pass into Muskwe. Muskwe's played Ndukwu in, and it's tipped over the bar. Come on, let's get a fourth. Then it looks a lot more dominant, that's for sure. Especially against the fourth place team away from home. Phillips in, and it's headed away by one of the defenders, and now Swindon are on the break here, but the highlight has ended, and there are 4 minutes of added time. And I'm fairly sure that we're going to hold on for a well-needed win here. But it's not over yet, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Laird's got it here to Newton, into Morley, down to Laird on the left-hand side, playing as that wing-back, and he's tried to play a pass forward into Muskwe, but has failed to reach him now. And Preston's now heading towards the byline and plays a long ball forward, picked up by Mullen, but Laird's got the interception in there. Brown played it forward to Mikulski. What can Mikulski do here? Mikulski can make a decent shot at the goalkeeper, a difficult angle. Sadly, does not get the goal. Mikulski picked up here again though. Muskwe to Newton. We're definitely not giving up towards the end of the match despite our 2-goal lead. Mikulski into Musquet. I mean, Musquet, you are very lucky that you've done so well in this match, because that was utterly, utterly dreadful. I have to say, I'm still a bit worried about Moraes. We spent £110,000 on him, and he only scores in bursts. He scored those 2 braces in a row. But since then, he's been a bit anonymous. I know he got the assist today, but still, he's meant to be a goal-scoring striker. I mean, I guess that's something that just part and parcel of football. At least we're still top of the league. Yes, he's still in the hunt despite that. We're still doing well, and he's still a decent player, and that is a very, very decent result. We end up having more possession despite playing counter-attacking there. And look at that. Both of the Leicester, 2 of the 3 Leicester loanees getting involved in the goals there. To be fair, I wouldn't expect Iverson to get involved in the goals, so, best we could hope from the Leicester loanees. 16 shots, 7 on target. Not bad for a team playing counter-attacking. Admiral Musquet gets man of the match, and despite that poor shot at the end of the match, the man's tied. You got a 4 points clear at the top of the table, which Canavan also on a 6.9 from heroes. And Mikulski and Newton, they were getting involved in those attacks towards the end of the game. Yes, Mikulski got a good shot away, to be fair, but I've seen plenty of our players do that. Can't just adjust on that. And there we go. We are now 4 points clear at the top of the table. And what is this saying? We're enjoying a brilliant season so far. Sky really is the limit. It is, because we've got a young squad, I believe, and they're doing quite well. So look at that, we're now 7 points inside the ultimate promotion place. That's probably more important than going 4 points clear at the top of the league, really. And we restore that 10-point gap between us and the teams outside the playoffs. It's always good to see that. I'm very happy with that. Look at that form. Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Win, loss, win, loss. No, just win, loss, win, loss, win. Look, it doesn't matter. We're 4 points clear. I don't care what that form is when it comes to that. So, when will you next be with me? We usually do 6 games, so let's see what happens here. Now the cup competitions are all gone, we're all out of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 23rd of February, day after my birthday, of course. Wonder how old I'm turning in this game. Who knows? Doesn't really matter. We'll be playing Cheltenham at home. That's a bit of a derby. I suppose I might have to look up if there's a name for that derby, so I got a good episode title. That's when you'll next see me. There are, of course, 5 games in between now and then, and hopefully we'll have 5 fairly decent results that result in us still being at top of the league and pushing on for that promotion to League One, which we have been looking for. So, thank you very much for watching this lovely, lovely, happy episode. I was not expecting to win today because it usually never happens when we need it, but it has. I'm happy about that. I hope you're happy about that. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.